Morning, y'all. How you doing? I'm gonna do a happy video. I don't. Oh, it's text message. It's gonna be a happy video. Cannot believe it's the 1st of December. Who would have thought? First of all, since August, I feel like I'm walking around in a daze. You know, this year in a nutshell, we were supposed to go to California to visit relatives in January. Well, they got sick, so we put it off to February. First part of February, I got sick. Oh my God, was I sick. Got better. Had a fabulous time in California. In hindsight, so glad we made that trip. So glad we made that trip. Mother enjoyed that trip so much. I got to see parts of California because while Mom visited, I explored. I got to see some of the most beautiful countryside I've ever seen. I got to go to some of those little small towns that, in Northern California are just gorgeous. While we were traveling, I remember I carried hand sanitizer and Lysol wipes with us. And I said, Mom, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Because at that time, we didn't know what this thing was that was slowly spreading, rapidly spreading. We didn't know what it was. And we got back, first week of March, you know, you turn the radio on, that's all you hear. You turn the TV on, that's all you hear. Looking back at my posts, I followed the World Health Organization's numbers every day. I got up and looked at them. Totally blowing me away in Spain and Italy and Germany. Just their numbers were just staggering at that time. Then the numbers started in our country. And I'm going, this is going to be bad. This is going to be very bad. The next couple of months are going to be very bad. Then they closed the Houston Rodeo. And I went, okay, this is really, really bad. I can remember thinking they closed the Houston Rodeo. Then they closed the Southeast Texas State Fair. And then they issued a stay-at-home order for everybody that was not essential. And I can remember thinking, how in the world am I going to get through this? Because I was not deemed essential. So my mother had the fabulous idea. Well, no, she didn't have the idea. The church called and the coffee shop needed masks and asked if Mom could make some masks. Well, she did. She put it on Facebook. Within an hour, we had over 100. So for March, April, May, we made masks. I can't even count how many masks we made. They went through transformations because we couldn't get elastic. Nobody could get elastic. So we come up with a way of putting ties. First of all, they told us that masks had to have 3 layers. Well, we discovered if you put 3 layers of fabric, you couldn't breathe. Then we finally got elastic in, started making them. We got invited to do the farmer's market, which Mom absolutely loved doing the farmer's market. I had been going to Beaumont's farmer's market for 3 or 4 years on Saturdays. Mom never went. But the first time we were out, the first Saturday, by the second Saturday, she knew all the farmers by name. She knew where their farms were, what they did, and biggest part of their life story. She was just like this little social honeybee at the farmer's market. And then we got sick. I can remember it was about the third week of June when we got our COVID tests. And I can remember sitting there crying. Mom, I can't stay closed for 2 weeks. Never in our wildest dreams did we ever think COVID would affect us this way. You know the rest of the story through July. It took me through August to finally be able to walk from my chair to the front door without being out of breath. Just came back to work a little bit in September. Don't know what I would have done without Shonda. October, I got sick again. Now, mind you, we have had some jobs since January. And some of them, the client has said, just let it sit there because I don't want anybody in my house. A lot of the senior citizens we've worked with, they just don't want you in their home. They're funny. They order their groceries, wipe everything down before it comes in the house. They don't go anywhere. The fear of catching COVID is very real to them. I've got jobs that we're waiting on fabric. I don't know when we're going to get it. At this point, I think I'm going to make some phone calls this week. We need to reselect fabric because it's just not coming in. Now, mind you, when I order fabric, it has to be paid for. And so money is tied up. When shutters right now, and my little shutter company that, you know, has always been so good, they're struggling with COVID. They can't seem to stay open for longer than 2 weeks at a time. They wear, you know, and it is hard to say what a business should do when you're not in that business's shoes. I've got the last 2 months, I don't see how I've stayed afloat. I don't. I really don't see how I've stayed afloat. In the words of my mother, God had his hand on us, I guess. I don't know, big, because how I've managed to pay the leases, and I don't know. I've got jobs out there that, for whatever the reason, I can't get them done. We're waiting on hardware. I've got 4 jobs on the rack over there right now waiting on hardware. Okay, that's money tied up. We can't get paid until they're installed. I'm so tired of telling people about back orders. So tired of telling people about back orders. It feels like a never-ending tape recorder with me. I think it's going to get better. And I think it's going to get better for this reason. Especially, I talked to the man at the shutter company yesterday. And he said, well, Deb, here's the thing about it is, I've only got 2 more employees. And then we will have all had it. So, thank God they haven't lost any employees. But he says, 2 more, and it doesn't matter. We're all good. So maybe it'll get better as far as that goes. I have to call another client this morning and tell them their stuff's on back order. A job I took last week before Thanksgiving, their stuff's on back order till January the 8th. Hopefully their fabric will come on in and I can get the draperies made, and then we'll install the other stuff when it comes in. That's odd that it takes longer to get hard lines in than for me to make draperies. New world we're living in. I only got one little piece of advice for people, and I see it on the social pages, looking for recommendations for contractors to remodel. Folks, if you don't have to remodel right now, don't remodel right now. There are 2, 3, 400 reasons why. Number one, the cost of materials is ridiculous right now. Ridiculous right now. Plywood, sheetrock, all of that, and don't even try and get appliances in right now. It's ridiculous. The reason for that has nothing to do with the businesses. The reasons for that is we've had 2 major hurricanes in southwest Louisiana, which has stressed everything. You've got fires in the west that people are having to replace. It's just all over, people. Think about it. I want you to just, just in the appliance world, I want you to think about it. Over probably close to 1 million homes have been destroyed with a hurricane. Every one of those homes has a washer, a dryer, a refrigerator, a stove, and a dishwasher, and an oven. Those are standard. The system is stressed. So if you don't have to, let alone trying to find contractors, even in my world, used to, I could order fabric, say, on Monday. I'd have it by Thursday. That don't happen anymore. It may be Thursday before they get it shipped out. The reason is these places are operating at half staff because of COVID. Rodding. I used to be able to call and order rodding, and most of it would be here the next day. That don't happen anymore. My shutters that I could get in 2 to 4 weeks. But so folks, when you go on Facebook and choose some of these companies out, and the ones that I see the most, that get fussed at the most, are appliance and furniture. People, they have no reason not to deliver your stuff. We're sorry you're being inconvenienced, but imagine what it's doing to the businesses. So, anywho, y'all have a great day. Now that I've rubbed my sad stories all off on y'all, it's okay, because I'm going to post a funny video from Wanda Joyce.